I'm Brian Ladd with the Ladd Group at Cascade Hassan Sotheby's Realty. It's a beautiful spring day here in Bend, Oregon, and we're here to talk about real estate. One of the great things about living here in Bend, Oregon is that we work hard and we play hard. So I'm gonna jump on my bike. It's a beautiful blustery spring day here in Bend, Oregon, and head over to the Phil's Trail complex. And over there, we're gonna talk a little bit more about real estate, specifically what's happening in real estate and why it's happening. Okay, before we talk about the why, let's talk about the what. Let's start with prices. Well, they're down. Inventory, it's up 80%. And let's talk about mortgage rates. We're down to about 6.25%, which is down from those just above 7% rates that we saw at the end of 2022. The why in prices, we're down 2.7% year over year and 8.5% if we use a rolling 3-month average. But why is that happening? Well, we're coming off the end of that pandemic boom. In a 2-year period from January 2020 to January 2022, prices went up about 60%, from $540,000 to just under $870,000. The prices are softening because of two things. One, that pandemic rush of people moving from those big cities to second-tier cities like Bend is slowing down, if not has stopped. And two, the Fed really wanted to slow down inflation, and housing was part of that equation. And when they increased the interest rates, they diminished that demand here in Bend. So let's continue the conversation to inventories. Why do we not have homes for sale? Well, I think it's two primary factors. One, from 2012 to about 2022, we were short in home construction, both here and nationwide. Builders and developers never really ramped up after the Great Recession, and there's more barriers to construction than ever, so we just don't have a lot of new construction. And number two, there's interest rate prison. Well, what does that mean? We had a 10-year period where interest rates were ultra low, and there's a lot of people not wanting to sell their home and move out of that low interest rate lock into a higher interest rate. So discretionary purchases, up, down, or sideways, are happening less often, and we have a lot less turnover in the market. So we're waiting on big life events to happen for people to sell their homes, and that's why we don't have a lot of homes to look at. And so we're to the third why of mortgage rates. We're in a high interest rate environment that's also paired with high housing costs. So we're sitting at a point right now where the Fed has tried to diminish demand with those increased mortgage costs, and it has done its job. Buyer demand is down a little bit, which has softened prices, but yet we have enough unmet demand on the other end and shortage of homes that's buoying it from underneath and preventing large-scale price decreases. So we're in this middle land, and it's primarily mortgage rate driven. When we have interest rates tick down like we saw in Q3 of 2022, buyer demand snapped back, but when interest rates went back up, it softened. We're looking forward to a year of falling interest rates. Most experts are predicting that. So we're forecasting increased buyer demand throughout 2023. I just want to express a little gratitude for this amazing network of trail systems and open space that we have on the west side of Bend, and the efforts of organizations like CODA that have built and maintained this extensive trail system over the last 30-40 years here in Bend. But to close with real estate, how do we bring in all these data points and how do we make a plan? We inform and arm our clients so that real estate can be a productive, both financially and emotionally, part of their lives, and that's best done with an expert agent at your side. We at the Ladd Group are proud to continue to represent our clients as the leading group here in Bend, Oregon, and we look forward to serving you in the years to come.